Hello all, I am the Holland Phantom, and as you may have noticed, I've got a new logo for my channel. And this one was designed by the user @theAquaPiplup on Twitter. So a big shout out and thank you to you, Piplup. The design looks amazing. Okay, so for today's video, we're going to be having a live battle from the 2006 format. On one side, we've got the Arcanine EX deck going up against the Flareon EX and Ariados deck, also known as Flariados, on the other side. So we'll see which of these two decks can take the victory today. But before we begin, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel and to my Twitter account @Holland_Phantom so you don't miss out on any new Pokemon TCG content. And now with it out of the way, let's get into the battle. And here we go, the battle has started, with both players flipping over their starting Pokemon. On the Arcanine side, we've got Solrock as the active Pokemon, and on the Flariados side, we've got Eevee as the active Pokemon with another Eevee on the bench. The Arcanine side is going first, attaching a React Energy to the active Solrock, and attacking with Call for Family, searching the deck for Lunatone to put onto the bench. And there's Lunatone coming down. And now the turn's going to pass over to the Flariados side. Okay, Flariados draws their first card, and Great Ball is played to search the deck for any basic Pokemon to add to the bench. The one chosen is going to be Spinarak, so once it evolves into Ariados, it's going to be the main attacker of the deck. And the first energy attachment is going to be a multi-energy attached to the active Eevee, which also uses Call for Family, same as Solrock. And it's going to be searching for, let's take a look. Okay, the chosen Pokemon is going to be another Spinarak, so now we've got 2 Eevee and 2 Spinarak on the Flariados side of the field. And with that, the turn passes back over to the Arcanine side. Arcanine draws their card, and they play their supporter Mary's Request, letting them draw 3 cards from the deck. And the next card is going to be Swoop Teleporter. This card is going to let the player search the deck for any basic Pokemon, and then swap it out with one of the basic Pokemon they have in play. So in this case, the active Solrock is being discarded to promote a Growlithe in its place. Is it going to evolve, or... Yes, it is going to evolve into the first Arcanine EX of the deck, and Arcanine gets its first Fire Energy attachment, letting it use its attack Overrun. Before the attack comes through, another Growlithe comes down to the bench, and there's the attack. Overrun hitting the active Eevee for 30 damage, and can also hit one of the benched Pokemon for 20 damage, so Spinarak takes some damage on the bench. Turn passes over to Flariados again. A Grass Energy is attached to the Spinarak without the damage, and evolves into Ariados. And the next card played is going to be a Warp Point. Now both players have to swap out to their active Pokemon. So Lunatone comes up active for the Arcanine side, and Ariados comes up active for the Flariados side. So we might be seeing the first KO of the game. The supporter is going to be Professor Elm's training method, letting the player search the deck for any evolution Pokemon, and the one chosen is going to be Flareon EX. Flareon is going to be the one to enable the one-hit KO once it evolves from Eevee. Yeah, and there we go, Flareon comes down, activating its Pokepower Evolutionary Flame, inflicting both burn and confusion to the opposing Lunatone. And now that it has 2 special conditions, Ariados' reactive poison attack can hit it for 70 damage, and that is going to be, like I said, the first knockout, and Ariados takes the first prize of the game. Arcanine EX comes back as the active Pokemon, and it gets a second Fire Energy attachment, so it's able to use a second attack now. And the benched Growlithe also evolves into Arcanine. The next card is going to be Rocket's Admin. Now both players have to shuffle away their hands and draw 1 card for each of the remaining prizes. So Arcanine gets to draw 6, while Flariados only gets to draw 5. There's the cards being drawn. Are we going to be seeing any more trainers or Pokemon coming down? Yeah, we do see an energy removal too. There's a coin flip, and it comes up Tails. It does nothing, otherwise it would have discarded an energy card. And there's the attack. Flame Swirl, discarding the React Energy and hitting for 100 damage to take an easy one-hit KO, and now both sides are tied. 5 prizes remaining. The Eevee with the multi-energy comes up as a new active Pokemon. And let's see what Flariados can do. A Holland's Electrode is equipped to the active Eevee, counting as a double Rainbow Energy and also bouncing back the energy it had before. And now it also evolves into another Flareon EX, using Evolutionary Flame to once again inflict burn and confusion. And the next card played is going to be a Super Scoop Up. There's a coin flip, and it's heads. Now they can pick up any other Pokemon, and the one picked up is the benched, Flareon. Eevee comes back down, so it's going to be able to evolve on a future turn to once again use its Poke Power. And now the player activates Mary's Request to draw 3 cards from the deck, followed by Great Ball to search for another basic Pokemon to put onto the bench. Here we see another Spinnerack coming down. Ariados is a really quick attacker, only requiring 1 energy to use both of its attacks. And there's the attack, Flame Screen, hitting Arcanine for 30 damage. And between turns, the Arcanine side has to flip a coin for the burn, and it came up tails, so it does take burn damage. Now it looks like the Arcanine has been healed of its special conditions through its Pokebody Flame Remedy, getting rid of all the special conditions and also healing it of 10 damage. The next card played is going to be a Great Ball to bench another Growlithe. Well, something that I forgot to mention earlier, the Flareon's Flame Screen attack hits for 30 damage, but also shields it from 20 damage from the opposing side. Arcanine uses Mary's Request next to draw 3 cards from the deck, followed by another energy removal too. This time the coin flip is going to be heads. Now the player gets to discard the Holland's Electrode, and because it countered as a double rainbow energy, that is a huge discard. And there's the attack, Overrun. Once again hitting the bench Spinnerack for another 20 damage. But it looks like the player may have misplayed there. They put too much damage onto the Flareon, as the Flame Screen should have protected it. Okay, so some Pokemon are evolving on the bench. Spinnerack evolves into Ariados, gets its own Grass Energy, and Eevee evolves back into Flareon, once again activating Evolutionary Flame to inflict both status conditions on Arcanine. Next card is going to be a Copycat. Now the player gets to shuffle away their hand and draw a number of cards equal to the number of cards that the opponent has. And that was 5 cards, it looked like. Another Super Scoop Up is played. There's the coin flip and it comes up heads. Now the player picks up the active Flareon, removing all the damage, so it looks like the misplay from earlier did nothing to affect the game. Eevee comes back down, Ariados comes into the active spot, and there's the attack. Reactive Poison, hitting Arcanine for 70 damage, leaving it with 10 HP remaining. And there's a coin flip for the burn. It comes up tails, so the burn damage is going to be enough to take a KO on Arcanine. And that's another 2 prizes taken by Flariados. They're down to 3 prizes remaining. Another Arcanine comes up into the active spot, and the player activates another energy removal. So this time it is tails once again. So it's 2 tails and 1 heads for energy removal. A fire energy is equipped to the active Arcanine, and the bench Growlithe also evolves. And the player activates another Rocket's Admin. Now they can draw 5 cards, while the Flariados side only gets to draw 3. So Rocket's Admin only gets stronger as the game goes on and the players take more prizes. There's the cards being drawn. Now Arcanine will not be able to attack this turn. There's the pass of the turn, as it does need at least 2 energy to use its first attack. On the Flariados side, another Eevee comes down to the bench, and the player activates another Copycat. So they could draw some more cards again. There's 5 cards being drawn. Are we going to be seeing any energy attachments coming down? And not yet, but the benched Spinnerack does evolve into Ariados. And yes, it does get its own Grass Energy. And there's the attack. This time using Spider Trap to bring up the benched Arcanine and inflicting both Sleep and Poison onto it. So it looks like the Flariados side is trying to stall out, as this new active Arcanine will not be able to attack as it has no energy. Okay, in between turns, the player flipped a coin for Sleep, but it was tails, so Arcanine does not wake up, though it does take 10 damage for Poison. Okay, the Arcanine player attaches a Fire Energy, once again activating Fire Remedy to completely heal their active Arcanine. But still no attack coming through, as Arcanine still does not have enough energy to use its Overrun attack. The supporter is going to be Steven's Advice, letting the player draw 1 card for each of the opposing Pokemon. That's 5 cards drawn. And that's going to be the pass of the turn. Let's see what Flariados can do. Another Professor Elm's training method is played to search for another evolution card, probably another Flareon. Yeah, there it is. Flareon will be able to use its Evolutionary Flame to inflict the status conditions onto Arcanine, enabling the Ariados to hit for 70 damage with reactive poison. There's the burn coming down with the Arcanine. There's the attack declared, reactive poison. 70 damage for 1 energy. It's a great attack in this format. And now in between turns, let's see if Arcanine takes any burn damage. Ironic for being a fire Pokemon. That was a Tails, but it also hit the damage counters. But it looks like the players are counting that one as a legitimate coin flip. So there's the two damage counters coming down to the Arcanine. Though it looks like Fire Remedy is activating once again as the fire energy comes down, healing 10 damage in both status conditions. Now the player activates Pokemon Reversal. There's a coin flip, and it's another Tails. A lot of Tails coming down for the Arcanine side. I think they've only gotten one head so far. There's another Rockets admin. Once again trying to disrupt the Flariados side, but by making them shuffle away their hand. There's the cards being drawn. Once again, Arcanine draws 5, while Flariados draws 3. And next, the Stadium card is played, Cursed Stone. And there's the attack, Overrun, hitting Ariados for 30 damage, and this time hitting one of the benched Flareon for 20 damage. And in between turns, the Cursed Stone deals 10 damage to every Pokemon in play with the Poke Power, which means that both Flareon take 10 damage. The Flariados side activates their own Steven device, but only gets to draw 2 cards out of it. Next, they play Energy Removal to get rid of one of the Arcanine's energies, which means it won't be able to use it with a Flame Swirl on the following turn. A Fire Energy is equipped to one of the benched Flareon, and there's the attack, Spider Trap, inflicting sleep and poison onto the active Arcanine. And there's a coin flip. It is Tails, so Arcanine does not wake up, but a Cursed Stone also activates, inflicting 10 more damage to each of the Flareon. Arcanine is going to be getting another Fire Energy, healing it from 10 damage in both of its status conditions. So basically, Ariados' attack did nothing, as it was completely wiped away. And there's Mary's request to draw 3 more cards, and the attack is declared. Another Overrun, hitting Ariados for another 30 damage, is down to 10 HP, and hitting the benched Flareon for another 20. And between turns, it takes an additional 10 with the Cursed Stone. So it looks like one of the Flareon has taken on a lot of damage so far. On the Flariados side, they play their own Mary's request to draw 3 cards. They have to find a way to either shut off this Cursed Stone or pick up the Flareon, as it's taken a ton of damage. Ariados retreats by paying the retreat cost, bringing up the Flareon. It has 2 energy now, Fire and Multi-Energy, to hit with Flame Screen, hitting Arcanine for 30 damage and shielding itself from 20 damage during the following turn. Between turns, Cursed Stone activates once again, inflicting some more damage to both Flareon. And Arcanine gets React Energy. So we might be seeing a Flame Swirl. Yeah, we are. Flame Swirl discards the React Energy, hitting Flareon for 80 damage to take a KO. And that's 2 prizes taken for Arcanine. Now both sides are tied at 3 prizes remaining apiece. Ariados comes back into the active spot. It looks like the player chose to bring up the more heavily damaged one to kind of spare the lesser damaged one from an Overrun attack. The Scott is played to search the deck for 2 full Flame Stadiums and a Mary's Request. So it looks like the player is going to finally be able to bounce the Cursed Stone, though at this point it might be a little too late, as Flareon has taken a ton of damage. And honestly, I'm looking at all the damage that was spread throughout the field. It doesn't look like Flariados can come back from this game. Arcanine is knocked out by a reactive poison attack, so Flariados takes 2 more prizes. But I think that might be the game if Arcanine has 1 more energy to take 2 knockouts on this turn. Yeah, there's the fire energy. And there's the attack. Overrun to take a KO on both Ariados and Flareon to take the final 3 prizes. And there's the handshake. Arcanine is your winner. So what did you guys think of that battle? Let me know down in the comments below. And be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share this video to help this channel grow and reach new viewers. Thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, this is the Holland Phantom saying Happy New Year.